seem to be some people killed that aren't supposed to be killed. These are violent, if you call them leaders, I don't know if they're leaders or just they rule through violence. But we're looking at it very seriously. The military is looking at it, and we're looking at some very strong options. We'll make a determination.
If you internet blackout for more than 7
well, we're going to be talking about that. We may get the internet going if that's possible. We may speak to Elon, because as you know, he's very good at that kind of thing. He's got a very good company, so we may speak to Elon Musk. And in fact, I'm going to call him as soon as I'm finished with you. I think they just want peace. They want to have freedom. The protesters are after freedom. Iran has not allowed freedom for a long time. And the protesters, I don't think they're trying to appease me. They're trying to get somebody to help them. They're under siege. And now it looks like they're being shot, which is a very bad thing.
Right now, we have a number of 490 confirmed protester deaths. That includes 8 children. And we are still right now investigating over 500 additional cases. So that means that should we confirm all of these numbers, the number of those killed will exceed 1,000. And that's in just 15 days, which is, it's extraordinary. The same with the arrests. We have documented over 10,600 arrests, but we have many cases that we are still verifying. We have seen the use of lethal force indiscriminately against protesters. And we have evidence of close range gunshot wounds. We have evidence of tear gassing. We have evidence of military grade weapons being deployed on individuals protesting in the streets. And this is absolutely unacceptable. It's a serious violation of not only international law, but it's something that the international community must condemn, and in a united way. We are incredibly concerned about, statements even from today from the head of the police calling for increased repression. We fear that that means that we have a situation where hundreds of people have been killed, and then we have a police chief saying that repression must increase, and so we're really fearful what that may mean, and we're watching that very closely. It's always a concern when we see that initial, full internet shutdown, because what happens is we start to see increased violence. We start to see things happening behind this veil of sort of secrecy. And it's usually an indicator for us that analyze from the outside that this is when the regime intends to really start their crackdown. And that is evident in the last couple of days when the internet was shut down and connectivity was restricted with the outside world. We began to see increased violence. And I think there's always a connection there. We've heard on the ground that after 8 p.m., even the landlines are cut, so people aren't able to communicate in that way, which not only is, a violation. People have a right to have access to information, but this also inhibits things like seeking appropriate medical care. If you're not able to communicate or to call an ambulance or to do anything that, requires communication among one another, then it creates a more dire situation. Something that's so incredible, though, in that vein is that as the internet has been cut, as phone lines have been cut, we are still seeing massive gatherings. So people are continuing to organize despite, this lack of connectivity. We have documented over 90 forced confessions that have aired on state television. And I think that it's really important to highlight this issue. These individuals are, arbitrarily arrested. They are transferred to unknown locations. They are tortured psychologically and physically. And oftentimes these confessions are used in their trials against them. And they often serve as justifications to sentence them to death. And we've seen this is a pattern, but we've never seen it in these numbers. And it's really concerning. We have obtained documentation from inside hospitals of individuals being victim of close range gunshot wounds, of tear gas, and these individuals have been taken out of medical facilities and transferred to detention facilities without proper medical care. And this is also something that we're watching very closely. Obviously, individuals are guaranteed the right to adequate health care and to medical treatment, and depriving those individuals of medical care prior to transferring them to a detention facility is absolutely torture and ill treatment under international law. And I think it's something that we really have to focus on. In terms of where these protests go, that's really up to the people on the ground. And I think that we need to just continue to stand in solidarity with them, to put their safety at the center of everything that we're doing, to make sure that we're maintaining a historical record of what's going on, of the deaths that have happened, of the arrests that have happened, and also the perpetrators involved.